So many things concerning. And one thing is about the rebirth, Professor. You says about the four holy persons. Just like the Sotapanna, Sakadagami and Anagami and Arahanta. So concerning about this one, if any person who attained the stream of enterers can live not more than 7 births. Okay. Sattakatu Paramaso in Pali. And for Sakita Kami, just one returner, just one birth. But Anakami, non-returners, and for Arahant, that means no birth. Liberated. But in the sense of Mahayana, what difference between Arahants in Theravada traditions and also for Arahant in the sense of Mahayana Buddhism? What do you think about that?
Of Arahant in Theravada Buddhism is that he has got the 8 stages, 4 mag and 4 phala. But in the case of Mahayana, we do not have 4 stages: Sotapanna, Sagdagami, Anagami, and Arhat. There are 10 stages, 10 bhumi, 10 bhumi. We have the text 10 Bhumik Sutra. In 10 Bhumi Sutra, they have the Dan, Seal, Bhavana, Shanti, Pragya, Upeksha. So there are the 10 stages through which a person can get a state of nirvana and he can become arhat. So he has to perform dan, seal, bhavana. There are 10 bhumi. They are called as 10 stages of the purification of the human being. In only Theravada traditions, we are having the Sotapanna, Sagdagami, Anagami, and Arhat, but they do not have these 4 types of stages in Mahayana. They are placed in 10 bhumi stages. We are also having 6 parmitas in our Theravada traditions. That is, the parmitas are the human values which take a being from the source of existence to the source of nirvana or eternal bliss. So there are only 6 parmitas: Dan parmita, Sil parmita, Shanti parmita, Biri parmita, Dhyan parmita, Pragya parmita. But in Mahayana, they are also having 6 perfections, parmita. But parmitas are meant for only bodhisattva. But the stages of the 4 stages, that is the Sotapanna, Sagdagami, Anagami, and Arhat, they do not have Mahayana in Buddhism. They have only 10 bhumi, 10 bhumis. Okay, thank you.
So, Professor, when we talk about the holy person in Theravada, we have classified the stage, the level of the one who attain the liberations in the sense of Sotapanna, Sakita-kami, Anakami, and Arahata. But in Mahayanic side, not classify the people into the stage of the holy person, but they have to classify according to the perfections. They can say like the Rasabhumi.
Yes.
Rasabhumi, it is like the perfections, okay? But the final goal, they want to be the Buddha because they keep the war for Bodhisattva. Okay, so I understood about this.
There are 2 aspects of Bodhicitta is the seed of enlightenment. And through the Bodhicitta, there is a purification of our consciousness, Chitta Buddhi. So that has 2 aspects, that is the Paramartha Bodhicitta and Samvriti Bodhicitta. And Paramartha Bodhicitta speaks that through the Paramartha Bodhicitta, a person is able to know the nature of the reality, that all things are subject to impermanence, all things are subject to suffering, and all dhammas are subject to soulless. When the 3, Anicca, Dukkha, and Anatta, these three are being cognized by a bodhisattva. This is called as Paramartha Bodhicitta. And through the second aspect of bodhicitta, that is called as a Sambriti Bodhicitta. Through the Sambriti Bodhicitta, a yoga bachar or a person who is practicing the bodhicitta, he practices karuna as a means of getting a state of eternal bliss. And through the means of compassion, he aspires to get a state of buddhatva. Here there is a concept of buddhatva, how a person is going to get a state of buddhahood. So that buddhahood is being achieved by the Sambriti Bodhicitta. So these both Paramartha Bodhicitta and Samriti Bodhicitta, both are dependent on each other. But through the Paramartha Bodhicitta, a person is able to know the wisdom of emptiness, that is the sunyata. And through the Sambriti Bodhicitta, a person is able to know that there is a means to get a state of eternal bliss. Thank you.
So thank you very much for your explanations. Okay, Professor Ranjit, please.
Thank you, Professor Kumar, for very nice speech today on the Buddhist religion. I am follower of Sikh religion, and Sikh religion and Thai religion, Buddhist religion is very close. The teachings are very close. I'm asking a question that was asked some few years back, around, I think 25 years back. There was a World Religious Conference in Japan, and many spiritual leaders were attending that conference. And one of the Namdhari Sadguru Jagjit Singh Ji was attending there too. A Japanese scholar had asked him a question: will you tell the definition of religion according to your religion in one single sentence? Then Sadhguru Jagjit Singh Ji replied, according to Sri Guru Granth Sahib, the spiritual holy book of the Sikhs, that always speaking truth and not speaking false is a religion. This is the one sentence answer. So I am repeating this same question to you. According to Buddhist, how can you explain what is religion in one single sentence? Thank you.
Told that even Acharya Nagarjuna, when he was asked to summarize the whole teachings of the Buddha in single word, that was called as ahimsa. So this is the main teachings of the Buddha, ahimsa, non-violence, that is the. But when you are talking that what are the similarities between the Buddhism and Sikhism, as we know that Buddhism does not believe in our teacher also. And when Anand, the close disciple of the Buddha, he approached to the Buddha and asked him not to get Mahaparinirvana, then he says that who will be our teachers after your Mahaparinirvana? Then Buddha says that after me, there will be no any teacher. Only the books which are available in Tipitaka form. My teachings will be in the form of your teacher. So he said in the Kalama Sutta also, or in the Mahaparinirvana Sutta, there is a detailed description that whatever you get it, do not accept the things, anything by the way of hearing or hearsay, it is coming from the traditions or it is said by someone, teacher. You do not accept it. You investigate it through the Tipitaka, that whether they are available it in or not. In Brahmajala Sutta, we also find that how Supriya Parivajaka, there is a conflict between the disciples of the Buddha and superior Parivajaka. And what is the best teachings of the Buddha? Buddha also says that that whether it is available in our teachings, you accept it, otherwise you do not accept it. Even in Sikhism also we find that in Sikhism the Guru Granth Sahib, it is called as their teacher. There is no any God or any Almighty God, but only the Guru Granth is the teacher of all the Sikhism in that way also. And Sikhism also talks about the non-violence, non-truth, and even the Panchasil, whatever we are having, Dasa Sikhapada or Panchasikhapada in Buddhism also, they are quite similar also. In Jainism also, we are having the 5 types of Asteya, that is the Asteya, Chori. There are 5 types of aparigraha. So they have been given in the same manner what they are available in our Buddhism also. So this is the main teachings, ahimsa and samabhava. That is the Sikhism also talks about the samabhava, that there will be equality with all, you can say. And Gandhiji also developed sab dharma samabhava, that there will be equality with all the religions. So this is by the traditions from the Buddhist time till this time also we are having the same equality, and every teacher of the religion has talked about it. Thank you.
Okay. Yes. Ajahn Songwang, please.
I'm from Chiang Mai University, Assistant Professor Somwang, Dr. Somwang Kyatsovong. Yes. I appreciate your presentation. It's very beautiful and precise according to the Buddhism, and give overview to Buddhism on all the world. Okay. Particularly, your presentation today is give the clear picture about the I mean about this century, about the Buddhist academic, Buddhist practitioner like Buddha Dasa, or what Dr. B.A.R. Ambedkar, His Holiness Dalai Lama, and Goenka, right? And one thing Dr. is missing is the Stephen, right? Bachelor Stephen. I think that person is interesting because it seemed to me that he is the leader of a Buddhist practitioner in the West, and he particularly he's emphasized on the separation of church and state, right? But my point is today very interesting is that particularly the you talk about His Holiness Dalai Lama, and the point and the PowerPoint mentioned that he just feel it seemed to me that he just feel hesitate about the original doctrine. I'm not sure for that, but about he said that because he lately he turned to the scientific, he with the scientific circle, right? He discussed a lot about that. According to your message, is that he seemed to be hesitate about justify about the subtle consciousness, right? So that one thing, because I'm not sure. According to us, according to Theravada text, we believe in the rebirth, right? But according to Hindu belief, one word is the reincarnation, like the Savatana, right? Reincarnation of the God Vishnu or something like that. So according to Thai perception, we believe that Dalai Lama is still reincarnation, because his name is the 14th Dalai Lama, right? That can be interpreted that he reincarnated again and again up to the same person. So that according to our perception, right? But when I heard from you today is it seemed that he's in his state to say that is the. So my question is, what is different between the rebirth of the early Buddhism and reincarnation according to Hindu or whatever, or Mahayana, because we never heard from his own holiness himself that what he say reincarnation or whatever, right? That is, can you clarify for me about the difference of the two words, rebirth and reincarnation? Thank you.
Thank you very much. This is a very debatable question which has been put by you. But what it has been said in the text, I will try to say in the Theravada Buddhism also, and how it has been interpreted in our Mahayana text, and how it has been interpreted by our religious leaders like Dalai Lama and others. In Theravada Buddhism, we say that whosoever person does the actions after death on the basis of the resultant of moral and immoral actions, another person takes birth. But the person who takes birth, he is not different from the previous person and not the same person. In Milind Pahyo, there is a dialogue between the Acharya Nagsen and King Milinda. And whenever he asks the Kopat Sandhati, who takes birth, then it has been said that Namam Rupam Cha Kopati Sandhati, that this Nama Rupa, who is the composition of a man or human personality, he takes birth. Then there is another question that Imina Nama Rupena Kusalam Akusalam Kammam Karoti Imina Kam Phalena Ayam Namam Rupam Chapat Sandati, that whatever we do, moral and immoral actions, based upon that resultant of moral and immoral actions, another Nam Rupa or a man takes birth. This is from the context. Now there is a question that he is the same person or the different. Acharya Nagasen says that nacho so nacho anyu. He is not the same one and not the different one. He has given the example that how a flame, that is the lamp, in the beginning of the night, it has the same flame, and in the middle of the night, it has the another, you can say, size of the flame, and in the last time of the night, there is another, you can say, size of the lamp also. So it says that based upon this, there is a resultant of the last one. Again, there are some examples that how a milkman goes to the persons and he gives milk, and he gives to the milkman that I will come in the evening. And whenever he comes, the milk turns the curd in the form of curd. So it says that curd, whatever it has come in the form of curd, it is based upon the previous one. And the mango, there is an example of mango stealing also. So a mango has been stolen from the garden of a person, and he says that I have not stolen your mango, because the mango which was rooted by you, which was sown by you, that mango was the different, and the mango which has ripened and it has fallen down, it is a different one. But in defense of that, it is said that Based upon the previous seed of the mango, the new plant has come and the new fruit has come. So in that way, that man is the continuation, you can say. So based upon the resultant of the moral and immoral actions, another Nam Rupa takes birth. And it is not different and the not same one from the previous one. So that is in our Theravada text. In Mahayana text, we are having the Bepul Sutras. Out of the Bepul Sutras, there is a text Sadham Pundarik Sutra. In the Sadham Pundarik Sutra, there is a 15th chapter which discusses about Tathagata Ayus Praman Parivarta. That it discusses about the age of the Tathagata, that is the Blessed One. And it has been said that Tathagata Sada Isthita, that Tathagata is eternal. It has been written Sada Isthita. Sada Isthita means that the Blessed One, only for the sake of the welfare of the human beings, when there is a need of the Mahakaruna, he comes on this earth. He is the not eternal in that Hinduism sense, but he takes in the form of Bodhisattva, he also takes. But he is the continuation only for the enthusiasing faith among the human beings. He takes form in the form of a human being here. In that form, it has been written that Sadaisthita. And we are also having 24 Buddhas also. These Buddhas are taking birth time to time for removal of the suffering of the human beings also. So this concept of Sadaisthita has been taken by our Mahayana scholars in different way. So since they are the eternal one, Tathagat is the eternal one, so he can take reincarnation. That way, in that sense, it has been written there. But Buddha is the Buddha. He takes birth only to make enthusiasm among the human beings and to remove the suffering of the people. In that form, he is taking form in the form of a human being. He takes birth and he becomes young also. But here he is Sadhaisthita. In that form, in the Mahayana text, Sadhan Pundrik, it has been written there. The concept of reincarnation, Buddhism does not believe in the concept of reincarnation. Buddhism believes in rebirth, that this Namarupa, which consists a human personality, it takes for another birth, but it is not the same one, not different from the previous one. Based upon the resultant of the moral and immoral actions done by a person, another Namarupa or another person takes birth. So he has to experience the consequences of the actions, whatever he has done in the past existence. But here the Sadasthita concept, the eternal one, has been taken by our Dalai Lama in different way. He takes in the form of that since Buddha is the Sadasthita, this the Dalai Lama, they are also eternal and they are taking reincarnation. The concept of reincarnation is the development after the 17th or 18th century. It is not before that. Buddhism does not believe in the concept of reincarnation. The concept of reincarnation started by our Tibetan Buddhist scholars. And they are taking, since Buddhas are Sadaisthita, the Dalai Lama, they are also Sadaisthita. And they are taking birth in the form of reincarnation. Dalai Lama, or even the system of that reincarnation, that has not been made it clear. It is also a mystery that who will be the next Dalai Lama? What are the things which are taken for choosing a new Dalai Lama? And when new Dalai Lama is being chosen, that is also mystery. And how Dalai Lama are being trained. This is the 14th Dalai Lama. Before that, we have the history that how Dalai Lamas are also taken in different manner also. Some of the Dalai Lamas were not given the proper place as a religious leader also by our royal Tibetan kingdom. So that is another thing. It is also a mystery for enthusiasm, confidence, and faith among the Buddhists. This concept of reincarnation has developed in our Western Himalayas, especially Leh Ladakh, Himachal Pradesh, and Arunachal Pradesh. Only the concept of reincarnation is available there. Thank you very much.
Sir, you just answer the professor's question. I have a question from you, okay? Because after your last answer, think I have some so expensive conversation from you, this dialogue. That since you said about this reincarnation, that is not very clear in at least from the Theravada tradition, if I understand right. Therefore, then in the Tibetan Buddhism, they said about, okay, I have to say that I'm from Taiwan. Okay, I'm ordained in Thailand as a nun for more than 10 years already. So then I see the difference, you know, how, for example, in Taiwan, when people die, they believe this is Taoism. They believe that people should keep at least 7 to 49 days. Then they do this chanting of the Buddha name Amitabha. Okay, so the more they chanting, the more they get merits, so they can reborn to the ring of Amitabha. Okay, then we see in the okay, this practice not only within Buddhism, they are also within the Taoism practice. In Taiwan, in Hong Kong, in Singapore, and in China. Okay. Then in the Tibetan tradition, as far as I know, that I read from the books. Okay, they believe in Powa. Do you know Powa? Okay, they believe in Powa. Okay, Powa, there's a period of time that people then, you know, consciousness, they will go through a period of time, then can go to a better place. This within that time, they can go to the supposed to be the mind should be stay in the state. Yes, but in the Theravada, never, as fast as my little knowledge, I have not found this kind of teaching. Therefore, and then I saw in Thailand also. Sorry if I said it wrong now. I saw in Thailand also people who, no matter it's monks or lay people, when they pass away, they keep at least 3 days. They will be cremated, and then the general practice sometimes 7 days. Then they still, I still don't why, you know, because if the Theravada, according to Theravada, the mind will pass away, cease that time. The consciousness is already reborn to a new state, right? Then these 3 days, 7 days, and the Theravada, in the Tibetan way, or even in this Amitabha or this chanting, from your point of view, can you explain this connection or their transformation or whatever? Do you understand what I mean?
Thank you very much. Yes. So, in Pali text, especially in Vinaya Pitaka, Sutta Pitaka, and Abhidhamma Pitaka, we do not find any reference for that what happens when a person dies. And in the later text, we are having Chit Santati, that Chit passes from one persons to another persons also. Only difference from the Hinduism and Buddhism is that Hinduism believes in the concept of soul, but here we are having the continuity of our chitta, or that is the consciousness. So here consciousness is associated with the 7 types of anusayas. Anusayas are latent factors or dormant factors which are lying on the surface of mind, and whenever they find time, they become active also. So in the later Abhidhamma text, we have references of interpretations that how chit santati, how a chit moves from one persons to another persons. And in the Abhidhamma text, we also find that there is a Hadhay Vattu. And this Hadhay Vattu becomes the base for arising of Manodhatu and Manobhyana Dhatu. There are 76 Manobhyana Dhatu, and there are 3 types of Manodhatu. Altogether, there are 79 types of Manodhatu and Manobhyana Dhatu. They are responsible for arising on the Hadhay Vattu. Hadhay Vattu is one of the material quality, that is the Roop, Hadhay Roop, that is the Hadhay Vattu. Based upon that, a personality comes into being in the form of a mother. And it is not stated that a person dies and another person takes birth. There is a intermediary stage that is called as Antarbhava. In the later Pali text, we are having the references of Antarbhava. Antarbhava means that when a person dies and another person takes birth, intermediary stage is called as Antarbhava. In the Mahasanghik text and other Sarvastibad text, we are having the references of Antarbhava. Here, Antarbhav, that a person's takes birth, it takes some time. Not even in Hindu traditions also, after performing 9 days or 11 days, a person is fully liberated and goes to the another world also. But here in Buddhist traditions, the death rituals are different in different traditions also. In Tibetan traditions, there is a belief that person can be live also after a few days of the death also. In Hindu traditions also, we find that there are some persons after death, after 1 or 2 days, or when he is going to the death ritual at the Dah Sanskar, then he becomes alive also. After few hours, a person becomes alive. Scientifically or biologically, it is said that a person dies, but the brain is functioning. And this life of the brain remains for 78 hours. So this is the scientifically observed. Even in the ICU or the hospitals, people are dying, but the death certificates are being released after 72 hours, generally, because the brain is functioning. Heart is not functioning, consciousness is not functioning, but scientifically or biologically, brain is functioning also. So in Tibetan traditions or in Thai traditions, people are of the belief that within 78 hours or 72 hours, person can be alive also after death. So that is why they do not put the dead body for the last rituals. They keep the body, they try to make the death rituals or paritta patha, or they are making the rituals of Phova. Phova is the intermediary stage from one birth to another birth, from the stage of the death to till the new birth comes. So there are 4 days at least. After the 3 days or 72 hours, after the 4th day, they also scientifically thinks that man can be alive also. So they wait for at least 72 hours. In Tibetan traditions also, it is seen that people can be alive also by the miraculous power or by their meditations. Even in the Himachal Pradesh or in Ladakh, with the miraculous power or with their riddhis or power, the persons have died, but their mind are still functioning nowadays also. There are so many bodies which are kept in the monasteries also in Himachal or in the Leh Ladakh also. Scientifically, they are saying that the body is not there, but brain is still alive. It depends upon the how much the attainment of the samadhi or concentration or subjects of meditations have been attained by a yogavachar. How much he has got the enlightenment to prolong his own body or the mind also. So this is the concept. We do not find the detailed description of the death ritual in our Pali text, but it is only in the later commentaries. There is a descriptions that how our chitta associated with the association of our Rupa, that is the Haday Rupa, in the commentary of Vibhanga, Sammoha Vinodini, in the Nidan Katha, Acharya Buddha Ghosh discusses about the Haday Vattu, and Haday Vattu becomes the base of the arising of Manodhatu and Manobhyana Dhatu, which are 89 types of 89 types of consciousness. Out of the 89 types of consciousness, only 76 types of consciousness, they are called as Manodhatu and Manobhyana Dhatu. And they take birth in the womb of mother when there is a Haday Vattu, which comes in the form of Haday Rupa in the womb of the mother. Then there is a new personality. Another Nam Rup takes birth. So that is the stage. But how does our brain, Buddhism does not believe in the brain. Buddhism talks about only consciousness. That there is a continuity of the consciousness. Buddhism does not talk about the brain. So we do not have any types of concept of brain in our text, but we have the concept of Haday Rupa. Haday Rupa we are having, but Haday Rupa is the another name of our Haday, that is the Haday Vattu. So this is the concept which has been discussed. Related the death ritual, it depends upon the locality. Suppose in Tibet, people can keep the dead body for the 7 days because it is the cold place. But in Thailand and other places, people cannot keep the dead body for more than 3 days or 4 days. So it depends upon the environment and nature of the locality also, that how much you are keeping the dead body and for how long you are keeping the dead body. In Himachal Pradesh, in the cold places, people can keep more than 7 days also. In Tibet also, people can keep the dead body for more than 7 days because the dead body will not perish. But in the places where there are hot season, people cannot keep more than 3 or 4 days. And even for 3-4 days, they keep in mortuary and even in with the ice cube and other things. So otherwise the dead body will be perishing. So only for the scientifically it has been proved that the till 72 hours brain is the functioning and there can be life in the body also. And death certificate from the hospitals are being released after 72 hours. That is the reason that people are saying that when persons are dead, why not the death certificate is being issued by the hospitals? That is the main reason, because the brain is functioning there. So thank you very much.
Okay. I
Sir.
think now we are coming to the end.
Sir, yes.
Or any question? Oh, Professor Soksak, please come.
Most respects to the Buddha, Dhamma, and all Sangha. I'm from Mahamakut Buddhist University, Lana campus. I'm come with two Buddhist scholar, two lady over there, sir. So thank you for our UC to participate with your seminar today. But in the main topics today, just really interesting. That's why I would like to know, and please give me for clear that what is the concepts of Buddhist study in the trends of contemporary society, in your opinion? This first question, and second, I would like to know how can we preserve the Buddhism, just as Theravada Buddhism in Thailand? Because when I was studying in India, I graduated in Banaras Hindu University, and just today I feeling like I'm reclass again when you trust me in BHU. That's why. So how can we preserve the Buddhism in Thailand? Just like right now, Thailand have the Buddhism as the institution. Institutions. This that mean Buddhism in Thailand right now is not only the folk way of Buddhism, but it's like a high, very Buddhism in Thailand. It's really civilized in Thailand. But right now, how can we preserve Buddhism? Just like how can we Theravada Buddhism like this? So,
Thank you, Dr. Srongkang. So the first question related with the Buddhist studies, that how Buddhist studies can be a part of contemporary society. So we have discussed in the beginning that how Buddhist studies is as a subject or as a discipline, that how Buddhist studies which encompasses all aspects related with the Buddhism, whether it is the language, literature, philosophy, culture, religion, all aspects when they are together, they are studied, then this type of studies is called as Buddhist studies. So here Buddhism has been taken as a way of life. And the whole teachings of the Buddha are discussing as a way of life, whether it is a Four Noble Truth, Eightfold Path, law of dependent origination, law of karma, and law of rebirth. All are discussing our teachings of the Buddha, and they are discussing as a way of life, how we can take Eightfold Path, that is in the form of three trainings, Adhichit, Adhisil, or Adhisikha. Adhisil, Adhichit, and Adhipanya, how these can be taken together, and how these can be taken together as a discipline, as a Buddhist studies we have seen, and how these Four Noble Truths, they are applied in our day-to-day life, in the contemporary society, whether it is in Thailand, Sri Lanka, Myanmar, or India, or all over the globe, how the social activism, that is how the teachings of the Buddha can be applied in our day-to-day life. How can we bring our social harmony in the society? There is a need of the society or contemporary society, that how this stress and how the hatred among the people, how the violence can be uprooted, how the teachings of the Buddha can be helpful in uprooting all these hatred, violence, and stress, whatever we are facing nowadays. These have become event problem related with the nature and the environment. these climate change which are taking place in our day-to-day life, how the global warming and other which are taking place, how the teachings of the Buddha can be helpful in bringing peace and harmony. This Buddhist studies as a discipline I have discussed here in the form of ideals of the teachings of the Buddha, which can be helpful in the contemporary society if they are applied in the form of social activism as well as personal transformation also. Because these teachings are not helpful until unless we do not transform our consciousness. We cannot purify our consciousness till our consciousness is not purified. These teachings of the Buddha are also not helpful in any way. So in that sense, I have discussed this aspect in my presentations also. The second question which you have asked, what was the second question?
That is, how can preserve the Buddhism just not only a folk ways,
Not earlier.
folk just like the Buddhism for normal people like that, sir.
Normal people, yes. You are asking related with our Thai culture and religion philosophy. And we know that even Sri Lanka considers itself as a pioneer of Theravada Buddhism. And we also know that Sri Lanka was the first where Buddhism was introduced by Mahendra and Sanghmitra. And the 9 other emissaries which were sent to different parts of the globe. And in Suvarna Bhumi also, how Son Uttara came to spread the teachings of the Buddha. And this form of Buddhism which developed in Sri Lanka, this is nothing from the teachings of the Buddha, which originated from the land of the Buddha, that is the India. So that our Sri Lankan Theravada Buddhism, which also believes in all the Four Noble Truth, Eightfold Path, and teachings of the Buddha related with the karma and rebirth. So the same form of Buddhism is also prevalent in our Thailand, Myanmar, or other countries also. So we have to develop for this. And there are some changes in the contemporary society, how the women are now taken considerations for the Sangha also, how the lay people, Upasak and Upasikas. Previously, the Upasak and Upasika were meant for only performing rituals in the temples also. But now the aim of the Upasak and Upasikas are changing in contemporary society. They are also taking interest in the Vipassana or meditations. They are also taking practices of mindfulness, and they are also trying to get a state of eternal bliss. So in that way, for the lay people or Upasaka, the teachings of the Buddha, which are helpful in Theravada Buddhism, they are acceptable in Thailand also, and either in other Southeast Asian countries also. Thank you.
Okay, I think that we have limitations of time for discussions. I hope that maybe next time I will invite Professor to come again. Last time, the question concerning about the nuns, she thinks about Abhidhamma is very deep teaching of the Buddha concerning about the other power or something after the people dies. So it is very interesting topic to discuss about the ceremony and also about the belief. But whenever we talk about the Hatha Yavatu and the power or something like consciousness, it really high teaching of the Buddha in the Abhidhamma. That's why. So maybe next time, if you have time for us, I invite you to our his consuls from India. So I think that today also we have a very interesting topic and speech for us concerning about Buddhist study in contemporary societies, how Buddhism can apply to the people, what way of life should we lead according to the environment change in this day. So Professor comes and give us a lot of opinion, a lot of knowledge concerning about Buddhist philosophy and something concerning about society also. But the thing that cannot be happens without the support from Sir Krishna Chaitanya, the consul from India into Chiang Mai. So on behalf of this one, we can get such a very auspicious opportunity to get Professor Vimarendra Kumar for us.